Well, hello. It's been a while since you've seen this room. Can you hear the thunder? Maybe. Well, today, I guess, we're go over Adam and Eve. I know this is important because it's not Adam and Steve. Now I'm doing. This is going to be different than just me reading through the Bible. I will stop and ask questions, point to guides on various topics. Like Inspiring Philosophy, who did a video series going through the first parts of Genesis, and, well, eventually the rest of Genesis and into Exodus. And Mike Wigner, who started off this with Genesis 2, chapter 4, or his Women in Ministry series, which you most definitely should watch. This is the account of the heavens and the earth when they were created, when the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. Now here's the thing. There's no indication, there's no proof, there's no way of knowing that, like the documentary hypothesis claims, that this was the original creation story of Genesis. There's absolutely no way of proving that. Inspiring Philosophy did an entire response video to someone who, well, not only that, but like the true origins of the God of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. It's not the same God in Judaism, Christianity, Islam. The same God in Judaism and Christianity, but not Islam. Yeah, just because the weak creation account sounds like something based on the Babylonians, it does not mean it was written during the exile. And plus, even if it was, there's a whole history of Jews and Christians reclaiming pagan things for the Lord. Anyway. No shrub had yet appeared on the earth, and no plant had yet sprung up, for the Lord had not sent rain on the earth, and there was no one to work the ground. But streams came up from the earth and watered the whole surface of the ground. And Inspiring Philosophy also did a video of where he believes the the Garden of Eden is. And a lot of people think it's in the Gulf of Persia. Sorry. Or the Arabian Sea, for my Arab viewers. I think William Craig thinks the same thing, potentially. But he also talks about how Adam and Eve were like the ancestors of Neanderthals and hominids. Yeah. Go check these things out. Anyway. Then the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. Now the Lord God had planted a garden in the east, in Eden, where he put the man he had formed. The Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground. Yes, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Now, a lot of things people like to say about this tree. First common objection is, if it's the tree of knowledge of good and evil, how did Adam and Eve know that it was bad to eat from it? Or they think it's just the tree of knowledge. That's not what that says. No, it's not. It's the tree of knowledge of good and evil. It's not the tree of knowledge. That is not a correct interpretation of what literally the words say. You don't even have to believe this is a true story to realize that's not what the words say. It's the knowledge of good and evil. Let's think about it. A lot of sin is essentially thinking we're the arbiters of what's good and evil. And just look at human history and you can tell we mess it up every single last time, pretty much. We rarely, if ever, get it right. Because we can't decide morality for ourselves. Yeah, you don't necessarily need some morals to decide don't kill people. Never mind, in ancient times, killing people was kind of seemed okay in some circumstances. You just got away with it. Oh well. Good job. Oh, you just killed your dad, the king. So, yeah, and that's morally fine, sort of. Shut up. Yeah. Don't question me. I'm the king now. But yes, the knowledge of good and evil, where we decide what good and evil are. And we're not good deciders of that. We're not. Yes, you like, I don't need someone to I shouldn't kill people. Okay, good. We slowly built that up over the years that killing is bad from, hey, we can just kill this person, why not? Dude. And maybe in like self-defense, it's like the only excuse. We can let someone off a little lighter if they accidentally did it, but yeah. Generally, killing is wrong. Killing is pretty much always wrong, unless it's in self-defense. Yeah. What about something to tell you not to lie? At all. Even little white lies. Unless you're saving someone's life. Then, that's for later. Or someone to tell you not to be prideful, arrogant, to covet what other people have. That's a big sin a lot of people have today. Even I catch myself in it. Okay, anyway. A river watering the gardens flowed from Eden. From there, it separated into 4 headwaters. Okay, this is from the perspective of Eden looking out. Obviously, these 4 conjoined into one and flowed in. But yeah, they were the headwaters of the river, like the Jefferson River, Madison River, and I think there's like one more. But it's usually not considered anymore. I don't even remember its name, so it's not important. Are called the headwaters of the Missouri, or like other where rivers confluge. Yeah, this is like basic river stuff that the ancients would have known about. Anyway, inspiring philosophy video. Where Eden is located. The name of the first river was Pashon. Maybe I should do a video of what people think these rivers are. It winds through the entire land of Havana, where the gold is. The gold of that land is good. Aromatic resin and oxen are also there. The name of the second river is the Galan. It winds through the entire land of Cush. The name of the third river is the Tigris. See, we know what the Tigris is. It flows into the Persian Gulf. / Arab Sea. Arabian Sea. Or Arabian Gulf, not Arabian Sea, sorry. It runs along the east side of Esher. And the fourth is the Euphrates. And that flows in the exact same spot. Actually, one theory about the first two, the P and the G, is that they are wads, temporary rivers. I know there's some people who think like land after a global flood changed vastly, but it makes a lot more sense than to like think it's the Ganges or the Egyptian Nile. That this is what the writer, what Moses was thinking about. And when I say Moses wrote this, yes, but either God told him this or probably corrected him on a lot of details, or this is part of passed down traditional stories. Oh, it's done thundering for now. Other words, it's just stories that they passed down, like stories of their history and stuff, through the generations. And they talked about these 4 rivers meeting at Eden. You can believe that stories are not real or partially or real. It's called mytho-history. It doesn't mean it's not real. It just means it's history being passed down in not written form. But that doesn't matter for this. I am pretty sure that this may be what they're referring to, what they think of in their culture, because that's where the rivers merge. So, yeah, and also there's different springs under the Persian Gulf. Yeah. Or Arabian Gulf. But I'm not going to do the entire Inspiring Philosophy video for you. Go watch it yourself. Also, please feel free to provide any commentaries or stuff you want to. Also, people of other religions, how do you feel about the Garden of Eden? How does it compare to your paradise? Ooh. That was bright, faster lighting. You know, like all the other stuff, like this one that's supposedly like off India. No, not a lost continent either. It's like a Hindu legend of one, and the other paradise is lost. Lemurania or something. Those are conspiracy theories. I'm legitimately talking about like other religions' views of paradise, which are false, obviously. But again, these people never seem to have to defend their religion. So this is what I'm saying. Go ahead, try. I'm not kidding. The Lord took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden. Now this is interesting. At least this is how it's worded in this NIV translation. The Lord took the man from wherever he created him and put him in the Garden of Eden. Meaning the man wasn't originally in the Garden of Eden, it seems like. Sorry. So, in other words, man was created somewhere else. Now, the thing is, in Judaism, you know the Dome on the Rock, that there's a big rock under it. That's why it's called the Dome on the Rock. Jews, not all Jews maybe, but a lot of Jews, there are Jews, who believe that's where Adam was originally created. Of course they would. It's Jerusalem. I mean, Jerusalem is important for a lot of reasons, but the creation of Adam? Well, then there's another theory that the place Jesus was crucified was right over where Adam was buried. That's why it's called the place of the skull. There's absolutely no proof of that either, but, whatever. To work it, and take care of it. In other words, paradise, you're still working. Obviously, you're not getting tired. It's wonderful. It's paradise, of course. But it still involves some work. It's a garden. It needs something to take care of it. But still, paradise. So I'm going to the question of how paradise in the Garden of Eden compares to the new Garden of Eden, the restored Garden of Eden. Yeah, one of its recent Q&As. But, yeah. And the Lord God commanded the man, "You are free to eat from any tree in the garden." Any tree in the garden. Now there were two trees in the garden, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and the tree of life. Any tree in the garden would include the tree of life, wouldn't it? Think about it. It would. And just say that Brian philosophy's view, and a lot of theistic evolutionists, well, maybe other people aren't young restorationists, is that Adam and Eve were, or at least Adam, were some sort of priest or something. The first priest. Anyway. Yes. But you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die. Now, some crazy people think this is a lie from God. But does it say he will immediately die? No, it just means, it just says he will die. Now, here's an interesting thing to argue against if there was no death from the fall. There was no death from the fall. This threat means nothing to Adam for the fall, because this threat means nothing to Adam because he has no idea what death is. Unless God instilled some fear in him, but yeah, he will die. Doesn't say immediately. Like some people who think God's lying here. God doesn't lie. And Adam does end up dying. Especially because he cannot eat from the tree of life anymore. Think about that. No tree of life, he dies. Also, some people think Adam and Eve had like spirit bodies and became flesh. That's a weird view. Anyway, the Lord God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him." So, it's not good for man, and this is meaning man, as in male, boy, guy, dude. to be left alone. We need another. Man and woman need each other from the creation. Man and woman both have dominion over the earth. We need each other. Now the Lord had formed out of the ground all the wild animals and all the birds in the sky. He brought them to the man to see what he would name them. And whatever the man called them, called each living creature, that was its name. See, the Lord named things in the creation week. And now Adam gets to name things, and that's his name. He gets naming power. Yeah. So the man gave names to all the livestock, the birds in the sky, and all the wild animals, but for Adam no suitable helper was found. So, no helper. Yes, even with dogs, and you know it wasn't with cats, was found. Well, dogs, technically wolves, but no one. None. Now, why would God do this? Maybe to show us something. That no, while animals can be good companions, they do not complete us. Maybe that's the lesson here. Maybe you think there's another one. Please share in the comments and explain why. So the Lord caused the man to fall asleep into a deep sleep, and while he was sleeping, he took one of the man's ribs, then closed up the place with flesh. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib. Yes, from the rib. A part, because rib just means side in this case. Yeah. Or that's the literal translation of the Hebrew word. He had taken out of the man and brought her to the man. The man said, "This is the first human speech in the entire Bible." Get ready for it. "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She will be called woman, for she was taken out of man." Now this name, a woman, is not calling her like your name is woman. That's what I'm going to call it. No, it's like naming what she is. Yes. And no, Adam is not naming her like she's a separate species. Watch Mike Wiener's video and Inspired Philosophy's video and put your own videos in the comments and make responses to the series. I won't react to all of them or maybe any of them, but probably for a long time. But just do anyway. This is supposed to be a good resource to help Christians out and new ideas and help them stay away from bad ones. You have any say like this idea is weird? Maybe because it is. Maybe avoid it. Don't go looking any further into it. This is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. So, yes, Adam and Eve were a married couple. A lot of their interactions are in a marital context, because marriage is a very important thing in the Bible, and it is exclusively between a man and a woman. That doesn't mean gay people don't exist. It just means marriage is exclusively against it for a man and a woman. Mike Weiner has done an entire video on homosexuality. Entire series, actually. And he actually has done a video about these people who think all gay people are just going to burn in hell because they're gay and can't be saved, and calling them out for their wickedness, wicked people they are, because they are extremely wicked and hateful. Hey, yeah, who am I kidding? People are not going to listen. They just want to believe anyone who dares question them is hateful, because they can't be the hateful ones. No. What if they are wrong? And what if their thing is, their sexuality is wrong? Does that mean they're wrong? Their entire identity is wrong? No. Because they're not a gay. Their entire identity is not gayness. It's something more. Deeper. Also, here's another thing people don't bring up. This is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife. In other words, once you are married, while your father and mother are so important, your marriage relationship is more important. And you don't have to follow the rules anymore. It's officially your house, your rules. Doesn't mean you go rebelling and doing crazy stuff. No, I'm not giving you permission to do that. But yeah, essentially, yeah, you're entering a new thing. Anyway, Adam and his wife were both naked, and they felt no shame. Yes, we're both naked. Clothing is found, and they felt no shame. Nudists probably love this Bible verse. But no, we wear clothes clearly for a reason. Now. But anything on the last verse, anything at all, any of this stuff? No. Oh yeah, I don't know who, but there was a lady who was a woman, and she may be defending this stuff and saying it doesn't contradict Creation Week, but people say it do. Also, if you're wondering, well, women teaching, yeah, women teach. Also, because a lot of stuff, interactions between men and women in the Bible, is in the context of marriage. Single women are different. I know the extreme complementarians don't like that. Go watch Mike Weiner's video. Just series. Women in Ministry. Anyway, it's 10:56. Storm is quiet for now.